Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So, I thought I would make this video a little bit on the expectations for this cycle um, in terms of crypto and also a little bit on the macro side. I think if we start continuing seeing this recovery in stocks in general, it really gives me the feeling that someone knows or has kind of an idea on when the trade deals will start to get announced, when some positive development in other matters will happen. So that's something to look for. However, at the same time, we just kind of gone up on a vertical line, so we're gonna have some pullbacks along the way. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't think we're just gonna go, for example, in case of Bitcoin, I don't think it's just gonna go to 110K next week like it's nothing. I don't think so. I think we're gonna fight a little bit, but then when we enter into price discovery, then things move really, really fast. Now, in terms of people expecting, oh my God, inflation's gonna go through the roof, or people are saying in the US, inflation's still very high, blah blah blah. See, I've mentioned this before. There is no universe in which prices, not just US, Europe, doesn't matter. There's no universe in which the prices will go back to what they were in 2019 or 2020. It's not going to happen. The way out of it is for people to keep more of their earned dollars. That's it. So basically, if your cost of living went up 30%, but your your net pay, your pay that actually goes to you in your bank account, goes up 40%, do you care? No. Exactly. That's the way out. You're not gonna have 30% deflation, because by the way, if you had that, that meant that something far worse than inflation being high was happening if that happened. But I think either people just don't quite grasp what's the expectation. I don't that part I don't know. And also the media obviously makes a very good effort to try to hide it from you as much as possible. Now, to me, what matters the most is that the global M2 is almost at all-time highs. Conditions have loosened. They have been looser than what they are today. The dollar is by far the most important thing to boost global liquidity, and yields come second. But they're also important. So I would like to keep seeing the dollar continuing its sell-off and the yields to keep going down with bonds going up. That to me is crucial. Now, if we go back a year ago, and this is a very good example, what was the consensus view? Left translated cycle, meaning all the gains would happen in the first part of the cycle, and then the cycle would be much shorter. What was the least likely scenario? A right translated cycle in which the cycle prolongs a little bit further. At the time, what I've mentioned, and by the way, I think I'm still in this camp, I said, since everybody's expecting a left translated cycle, one thing I know, it's not going to be that one. So left we can take out of the equation. I still think at this stage that the 4-year cycle will kind of happen again. Now, can you postpone it a couple of months? Sure. Would you consider that a right translated cycle? I don't think so. I think when people say right translated, they mean the cycle ends in, I don't know, June 2026. So something really deep into something that shouldn't be happening. Meaning you can have the cycle going a little bit into December or January of 2026, maybe even February at the most. So basically a couple of months extra, but not into June or something 2026. That is indeed a right translated cycle. The issue is now that is becoming the consensus. So, and nobody believes that the 4-year cycle is intact, which kind of makes me believe that there's a good chance it is. Now, what's going to happen to what's going to happen to prices? Look, there are a lot of variables here, and it's very hard to assess. I always said since 2023, Bitcoin to go somewhere between 242 to 276,000. By the way, this was when Bitcoin was 20K and everybody called me a complete crazy guy. And now I find it funny that I'm the bearish guy for saying these numbers. I still remember very well that I was the clown. And I always said Ethereum somewhere between 25 to 29,000. Obviously, Ethereum has been extremely underperformer, but that can easily change in the sense of it depends if it can attract, indeed, if the institutions like BlackRock will indeed tokenize the assets or the majority of their assets into the Ethereum chain, because then you really see the interest spiking quite a bit. One thing that people are failing to realize is that there are net short positions at $3,000 Ethereum worth 3 billion. 3 billion is 2 BlockFi hacks. You remember the hack of 1.5 billion in Ethereum? Think 2 of those on the short covering side. That's what we have. So I don't think Ethereum is down for the count. I think everybody has given up on it. That tends to make me feel bullish because everyone has been claiming that Solana is the big winner, which means all of them are positioned and all of them have huge bags of Solana. So what can they do with those bags? Sell it. But they have no Ethereum. Actually, Ranuna very recently in his video said, I don't see any point of holding ETH. I sold the remaining of my ETH. And I've been pounding the table on it because I know that guy, if Ethereum pumps, he will come back and say, oh, actually, I never sold it. Actually, I've been accumulating it. I'm up 5-fold. I already know what he's going to say. So that's why I kept that live stream, because it wouldn't put it past me that guy will delete that stream if Ethereum really starts to outperform, because that guy is very capable of doing something like that. So that's why I'm keeping it, because I already know that there's a very good chance that he's going to do something like that. But what do we need? We need ISM to go up. We need liquidity to keep it going up, which is happening. We have the fundamentals on the background. We have the regulatory support. We have the starting of adoption by institutions. We have the adoption by governments. We're starting to see the things that we wanted to see. What we need is, as I've always said, liquidity is the key driver of crypto. And that is for the upside, that is for the downside. It doesn't matter, there's no difference. The problem is people insert narratives and change their mind as the price is moving higher or lower. So if the price is moving lower, everything is bad. Look, we have good news, but the price going down, so it's a bear market, blah, blah, blah. If price going up, and it doesn't matter that China banned Bitcoin, who cares, right? So the point is, it doesn't matter if the price or the green candle is telling you something, then people will look into it and they forget the fundamentals, the basis of it. Now, if we do have a scenario where the US really buys Bitcoin and that triggers other countries to do the same, and basically the exchanges at the moment are pretty much with no Bitcoin anymore, you can gap the price like crazy. And then it depends on how much governments are really willing, what they're willing to do to accumulate Bitcoin. Because if they say, we don't think about euro, yuan, dollar, yen, Swiss francs, pound sterling, we think about how much Bitcoin we have, we don't care the price, then of course anything is possible. I've been saying this since 2023. That scenario will obviously violate what I was expecting, but on the positive side, I don't care, right? If Bitcoin goes to 10 million in this cycle, I'm going to be the happiest mother effer on the planet. See what I mean? So yes, I would love that to happen. I'm just saying, what if it doesn't? What if it stops, if it has to stop somewhere because the cycle is not as good as people think it is? Well, then 242 to 276,000 would be my expectation. Have I changed that opinion? No, it's been the same for 2 years. I went from being the clown because I was too crazy bullish, and now I'm the clown because I'm too crazy bearish. Go figure. Look at the global liquidity, look at the yields and the dollar. They will tell you the future more often than not. Community is the real thing. What is the activity when things are down? What are whales in that ecosystem doing when prices are down? That's what tells you if the projects you're in have a good chance of succeeding or not. Probability is all we got. We have to tilt those odds in our favor, just like the casinos tilt the odds in theirs. And with that, thank you very much for your support, guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.